So this is a re-upload because the second half of the audio just wasn't on the video, and I think it's because my PC it's getting old, alright? It's like me, it's getting old. Normally when I render, the CPU percentage is pretty high, but the memory usage is like almost all the way to the max, so I might have to maybe make an upgrade at some point. I'm definitely gonna have to keep looking even harder before I upload the videos, because I looked at the first 8 minutes into the next song change, and I'm like, everything's fine, there's no too loud music, except I disappeared. But yeah, I apologize for that. Normally I would just, kind of let it go, but this one, the video is basically unusable. The last one, you just ignore the intro and the outro. The gameplay is still fine. But yeah, let's get into this small Penix career. Yep, Michael Penix Jr., the luckiest or unluckiest quarterback from the 2024 draft, as the Falcons, self-proclaimed, went the Green Bay Packers route and grabbed Penix Jr. despite having Kirk Cousins, who they just signed to a $45 million per year over 4 deal to be their starting quarterback. Now, here's a couple of problems. One, the Green Bay method, as they called it, didn't require a 23, 24-year-old quarterback and didn't require an 8th overall pick, which is basically like having 2 Jordan Loves in the same year or 2 Aaron Rodgers in the same year based on value alone. And obviously, other things are, well, you need a lot of talent. You need a lot of players on this squad. They could have easily went like Rome Odunze. That would have been great. Would have cucked out the Bears from getting him. But no, they decided, hey, our slot receivers we traded for and signed are good enough. Sure, I do believe Darnell Mooney will be an emergence player or resurgence player for them. But at the end of the day, they could have went wide receiver. They, I suppose, could have went O-line. This is not a problem, though. Really, their only question mark on the line is left guard, which is, not a bad problem to have. But what they really needed was edge. They really needed edge, and this team's kind of all over the place. I don't even know what scheme we're supposed to be running. We'll figure that out in a second. Really needed edge, really need a corner, and they obviously didn't really address that early on because pick 8 went to a quarterback that might not play till he's 26, 27, maybe even older. It's definitely a question mark, and Kirk Cousins, rightfully so, is angry. But the point of this video is to see, I don't know how many years Penix is going to be sitting, but if Michael Penix Jr. can become still a really good quarterback, can he be that franchise quarterback? But obviously talking about, is he really lucky? Is he really unlucky? Because obviously if he's the real deal, he's missing out on those things like, Super Bowl rings early on in his career at a young age, having the youngest MVP chance, or, having this many yards in his first 3 seasons in the NFL, or stuff like that. But if he isn't the real deal, he's saving himself from injury and maybe sneaking in a payday like Daniel Jones kind of did. Not in the same way, but, one final season he plays well, or they have to take a chance. It's like, well, we did pick, we picked him at pick 8, so we kind of need to invest in him. Let's sign him to a longer deal, even though we haven't really seen him play. If you're not the real deal, this is a great gig. But if you are the real deal, then yeah, you are absolutely being wasted. But we'll see what happens, and we are going to see exactly what happens in this sim setting. If you guys want to see more of these types of videos, let me know in the comment section below which player you'd like to see next. And obviously leaving a like definitely would help out, as I could be like, oh, okay, a lot of likes, a lot of views. They want to see some careers being followed around like a little stalker. But if not, it is what it is. Michael Penix Jr. Whatever. I should also show you guys what rating he is. This is its VIX roster on Xbox Next Gen. This is what he looks like. Injury, maybe could have been a little bit lower, but it is what it is. Injuries are off anyways, and let's get off to the bench sim. 9-8, just missing the playoffs. -11 mil. I'm trying to kind of recall what happened in that the Falcons rebuild we did recently with Michael Penix. Did we win a Super Bowl? We might have won it last year. I don't know, but Kirk Cousins was great. So, based on like if you're going to be getting rid of him anytime soon because of talent and performance, yeah, that's just not happening. Let's just be honest. Quick look at players of the week, season anyways. The rookies, we did see Dallas Turner, which could have been easily a great pick at number 8 for the Falcons. Will it be a pick they absolutely regret? We'll see. Because it's not only about will Penix be good. Because at the end of the day, you could always argue, if Penix is great, if he obviously leads them to some Super Bowl wins, then it's like, oh, who cares? We're happy. But Penix could be great, but then you look back, it's like, okay, well, if Kirk Cousins was pretty good, and you just didn't have enough talent to win the Super Bowl, you maybe have squandered years by not taking someone back then or trading back and grabbing multiple good players. So it is kind of like a weird, like, you're trying to win now by adding the players you did, but then you draft a guy that you're not going to be winning now with. I mean, if you don't believe in, there goes the Ravens winning by 6 over the Bears. If you don't believe in Kirk Cousins to stay healthy, and that's the problem, then why'd you pay him so much? $45 million per over 4 years is a lot of money to pay for a guy that you think isn't going to stay healthy. I wouldn't buy a brand new car if I was expecting everything to fall apart within the first couple of months. And even then, that's not even a great metaphor because there's like insurances and whatnot you can have. So, I mean, I think the Falcons are just on crack. All right, draft recap. They finally add a little bit of wide receiver talent. They added a linebacker. They added a tight end. Not really sure how they needed that, but, I mean, more talent. Why not? Safety, sure, I agree. Edge rusher, finally in the 6th round. That seems a little late, but why not? 95 speed for the 6'1" wide receiver, Antonio Westbrook. He's got a couple of pretty famous like names in there for star or star players, if you will. So it is what it is. We'll see if he actually even starts for this team ever, but fair enough. They actually added some decent looking players. Maybe not the best position groups. Definitely need an edge rusher still, but it is what it is. And then for this, I don't really go in for the breakouts, but if I see a mentor rookie, I mean, I'm going to do it. Just why not, Get ourselves a new tight end that has a superstar, maybe even X Factor after this. Another missed playoff season, 6-11. Not really sure why they're missing. I guess Kirk didn't really play that well, but the other season, Kirk played really well. Nothing too spectacular. Not really even sure this team is getting dev ups. The whole point is to follow the career, obviously, of Mr. Penix. Don't know if that'll be this season that he gets to start, the next upcoming season or not, but, at some point he's going to start, right? Sooner or later. Chiefs versus the Packers in the Super Bowl. I wonder if this team actually had any dev ups. Also, I wonder if Kirk Cousins is going to retire. I've seen him retire after year 2 kind of often, I suppose. They also obviously have the contracts on auto, so they deal with everything. 75 overall. I don't want to make the executive decision for him because I'm supposed to be watching the sim, but if he's that low, that tells me that Penix is absolutely capable of winning the quarterback battle since they're both very similar in overall. So I am going to give him the nod already, I think. I think that's only fair. He was okay last season, but, I mean, it makes sense, right? Am I crazy? Charles, I don't know if that was actually his dev, but he is a 78 overall, so not bad. And I don't know if I think he actually was superstar. So they drafted a superstar. Not bad. Westbrook, wide receiver star dev. Definitely need to get rid of Rondale Moore. His ceiling is not the greatest, but that is not my job. I'm just here to watch. I said that to my wife and her boyfriend before. In seriousness, though, I'm like not here to kink shame, but at the same time, like why? Like just why? So yes, I am shaming actually. Technically. And the team takes quarterback. And it's a very good quarterback. Clayton Groves. I mean, I get it, right? Okay, hear me out. Hear me out. I get it, right? Technically, this is supposed to be a career sim. This is a career sim of Michael Penix. And I'm only supposed to be watching. But at the same time, the move they just made at pick 3 overall absolutely would tell you that Penix is done. He doesn't even get a chance to start. So what I'm going to be doing here, you can call it what you want. It's my damn video, okay? Okay? Hear me out. I'm going to be trading him off. I'm just going to be 100% transparent. There is no point if the team is drafting a quarterback at pick 3 overall without even letting Penix try to be the quarterback. That tells me they've seen him in preseason. They've seen him in practice. They don't like him. They don't like it. The only team that wants him is the Seahawks. I'm sorry, Falcons fans, and I know you guys probably are not the happiest campers anyways with, the decision, but this seems to be the way things have to go, okay? This is just the way it's going to have to be. We're going to be trading Michael Penix off to the Seahawks if we can afford it due to salary cap issues. Okay, we'll have to fix that real quick, but we're going to be trading him off to the Seahawks, and this is now a Michael Penix Seattle Seahawks rebuild. Maybe this is a silver lining for Penix, but he is now a Seattle Seahawk, and all of the talent in the world is at his fingertips. Defensively, looking pretty good, but it looks like the wrong scheme, right? It's supposed to be a 3-4, looking like we're running a 4-3. Maybe this is why some teams just don't win in Sim. Although, what do I know? Our last Lions rebuild was a complete and utter failure. Oh, man, that pissed me off. EA is just a disaster. But I imagine this is a 3-4, just based on the way they're looking. Let's go with... I think the Chargers are a pretty good scheme in 3-4. Let's go LV, actually. Why not? If we actually spend this whole entire Sim not making the playoffs once, I will be very, very sad. But Penix, the starter, 30 touchdowns, 10 interceptions, 3,700 yards is very good. Rushing, Kenneth Walker was decent. JSN was pretty good. Metcalf definitely a down year, and Lockett super down year. Offensive line blocked pretty well outside of Cross. Defensively, exact total's pretty tame, about 6 per, but at the same time, it is a 3-4, and 3-4 is basically just an L. Did not get... I'm trying to pay attention to the Falcons a little bit as well, but did not get Player of the Week, Player of the Year, Player of the Anything. Khalil Mack was the Defensive Player of the Year for the Lions. What a team drop there. And the Falcons quarterback was number 2 on the Best Offensive Rookie of the Year award. When looking at Penix, number 8, with the Falcons guy being number 9. So basically drafted a guy 3 overall to basically play worse than Penix. That is a little bit of karma, but it is obviously very, very early on in this kind of sim. So that Falcons guy is probably going to cook up, whereas I don't know the trajectory of Penix just yet. Super brand new team matchup here. The Rams versus the Raiders. Definitely don't see that in sim too often, with the Rams winning another Super Bowl. Let's take a look at our potential DevOps. Penix, it was not one of them, unfortunately. And then defensively, it's hard to remember who is what, but they got some corners. Let's be honest. This team's got some corners. Who's good? Pretty damn good to me. 1-year superstar. Off ball, not really a pass rusher. Kind of lied to me. And the Seahawks continue to do it. They go wide receiver. I get you are... Okay, well, I was about to say, I get you are replacing Lockett, but 6'5", I guess you want to keep JSN in the slot, but that's not realistically what's going to happen here. He got themselves a hidden dev lineman as well. Pick 15 in the 3rd round. They go Ashton Phillips, some size. They like the taller corners, obviously. Yeah, I mean, that's the draft. Another wide receiver early on. And, wow, even worse. 4-13. Tell me it wasn't Penix. Please. I can't take it, and it kind of was. With a team this good, especially receiver talent-wise. Yeah, that's an L. I mean, that is Penix not playing well. And, I'm not saying I've seen the Seahawks scheme absolutely cook before, but I've definitely seen better than that. Looking through all these players, yeah. I mean, there's going to be some people that probably, clicked off automatically, right out the gate and just said, hey, we're going to not allow a trade to the Seahawks. But at the same time, once again, they took quarterback 3 overall. He was an 80 overall superstar. What do you want from me? Penix would have sat for 2 or 3 years anyways, done nothing, and then we would have finally had him on a team. Still might not have been a starter because he might have been too low of an overall to beat anyone. I think that was the realistic move. Trade him to whatever team was on the trade block. I was hoping there was going to be more teams and we could have just taken the best offer. But nope, it was Seattle only, and, well, the rest is how the cookie crumbles, I guess. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. Still, rather early in his career, and he is at least performing better than worse when it comes to interceptions and touchdowns. But Patriots, of all teams, the Patriots are Super Bowl champions. That is surprising. And Penix obviously did start, but Anthony last second trying to steal the job there. But these are the receivers. No DevOps, I think, on offense. Defensively, Mitchell might have went up in Dev. Not even sure who the hell Mitchell is. Jaquan Mitchell. Am I an idiot? Is this actually someone they drafted? Hugh Perkins, 82 overall, I would imagine. Generational wide receiver. 90 spec, 89 catch, and traffic, 87 catching. I don't know why my mind went really dark, and I just heard catch in traffic, and I imagine somebody going for a catch in the middle of the road and getting run over. I need therapy. I would imagine X Factor, right? I mean, he looks amazing, and he is. So, I mean, once again, it's another wide receiver in the 1st round, especially this high, but you land someone like that, and you can't really fault it. Lindsey Armstead probably going to be playing strong safety for us. And by us, I mean the team that currently employs Penix. That's really all I can say about that. But yeah, there you go. I mean, a brand new weapon, a new name. You know, if DK can't be re-signed or JSN or whatever, or maybe they just want 3 really good receivers again, that's the guy they went with. And it's a good player. You can't really blame it. And more mentor. It can't be the wide receiver, right? It's got to be someone else because he's already an X factor. Alex is our running back again. We legit might never see a playoff season. We might actually just see a bunch of mid, which, I mean, is fine. You're starting in the NFL. It's a dream that many will never be able to fulfill, so it's something, but definitely lackluster. Doesn't change the fact that it's lackluster. Mafe with 10.5 sacks is actually pretty impressive. Might even be a dev up. But maybe a scheme change? I don't want to change it because it's supposed to be a sim. You know, he joins the Seahawks. It's supposed to be, well, he's joining the Seahawks. He's going to, have stats like a Seahawks quarterback should have. But also, at the same time, I would like to see a dev up. I'd like to see some playoff berths at least, even if he doesn't win a playoff game ever or never wins a Super Bowl. Just at least get to the playoffs. Panthers versus the Chiefs. Who we got winning this one? It is the Chiefs, to really no one's surprise, to be honest. Let's take a look at the team. Penix 79 overall with 160% sliders on, or 160 sliders. I don't know if it's percent. JSN is an X factor. Perkins obviously an X factor. This team's got X factors on offense at those weapon spots. Mafe, I do not believe went up in dev. Milano, when the hell did he get here? We have it on, auto reorder, best, roster change, but it doesn't seem to matter sometimes. Headed on the draft. Don't even know if this team's going to keep him because it might be like Penix's rookie year, rookie deal gone at this point, right? We started 23, so 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. So if they didn't re-sign him, he might actually be onto a new team. Not a bad looking draft class in this Seahawks teams. Look like they went corner, edge, and then off ball. Actually not edge, interior, but still, that's fine. That's a really good player. Carlos Grant, who is a normal dev, but athleticism is there. And then a cornerback with hidden dev, Demarius Dennard. I mean, I don't know who they lost in the offseason, but they keep, kind of future-proofing players that they aren't even, replacing. Positions they're not replacing. Like, they're keeping the guys that they're starting already. So you're moving these guys down to 3 and 4, and you're taking them pretty high. So I don't know what to tell you, but they love wide receivers and corners. 8-9, it's better, but it's still not playoff bound. Jaden Daniels, the number 1 yards guy. Michael Penix, 28 touchdowns, 12 interceptions, 3,700 yards. Once again, not every quarterback is just going to be a 5,000-yard, 40-touchdown guy anyways, but I think the numbers are kind of fair, right? He's not the highest of overall. Like I said, we had that Lions rebuild where despite having such an amazing roster, we just didn't do anything throughout because, our quarterback was a lower overall. Jared Goff never got past an 84 plus, I think, maybe 86 plus at best. And it cost us, I think it personally cost us. I think that's the only reason why we didn't win the Super Bowl. Obviously, we tried that sim with him being a 90 overall. I think we made the championship round, or we came close to it at least. More success than the whole rebuild as a whole, just that one season with him being a 90. So it's a weird one because it's like you want to develop the guys that make sense, but at the same time, if you know that having a lower overall quarterback is going to make it almost impossible to win out, you might as well just move on, right? Like, what's the point in keeping a guy like Penix around if you're never going to win a Super Bowl with him? But the Commanders win by 3 over the Ravens, so a lot of new teams. Jaden Daniels wins MVP, then ends up maybe winning Super Bowl MVP. Penix, now a 29-year-old, has really good medium accuracy, decent short, but no deep accuracy, despite having really, really good throw power, and his speed even upgraded a little bit. But, definitely not really looking like a good use of pick 8, especially since he's not even on the team that drafted him at this point. And the Seahawks look like they're going the Falcons route here, taking quarterback pick 13 overall, which I kind of get. I don't even at this point, I might even be talking to nobody because this might be edited out because maybe, just maybe, Penix ain't even on the damn roster because it seems a little weird that, Penix isn't the highest overall. Yeah, he's on the older side, but the AI doesn't really know that, right? Quarterback is not the biggest need on this team right now. There's definitely some defenders, maybe some offensive linemen that could be improved. But we'll see if he's actually still here. If he's not, well, who the hell am I talking to? And he is. So, I feel like You definitely could have went a different route. Offensive line is, I mean, the offense actually is pretty much set, but middle linebacker too, definitely could have been. Actually, here you go. Boom. Put Good up there. Oh, they're going to have Good as an edge rusher. Is that the move? Oh, well, I'm not going to touch anything. This is a really good team. Penix will not have a better situation in Sim than this. Like, this is crazy. Do we even care anymore? I mean, at this point, it's just like single stats. Oh, Penix was amazing, though. That could be a superstar dev up. Could keep him around longer. This offense is not the problem. It's got to be the defense. Like, it's got to be somebody on defense. You know who it is? It's you! Actually, no, he has 8.5 seconds. It's you! It's you. What's your dev? Oh, you're lucky this time. You're lucky this time, bozo. Lucky. Jalen Hurts, MVP of the league. Looking at the NFL. Micah Parsons is a Packer. Wow. Free agency gets a kind of crazy. I know we're definitely like super far down the line now, but I can't imagine he's that old, right? Parsons can't be much more than like 30. So that's kind of crazy that he's on this team. Where is he? How old is this man? 30 years old. I guess maybe it's possible, but it would definitely need to be a trade rather than free agency, which I imagine is what it was. But let's take a look at Penix, who might have a dev up heading on to the Super Bowl to find that out. But yeah, I would say there's obviously some other, quarterbacks like J.J. McCarthy and, just other players in general that would have a little bit better of a chance to become, like, goated than Penix. Once again, sitting back up for 2 seasons and being a lower overall and already 23 years old, starting at 25, 26 years old is never going to be a great starting platform as the Commanders win, I believe, their second Super Bowl. Penix does not go up and dev from that. Am I crazy, or is that like a really good season and he just got absolutely snubbed? What were his yards and all that? I think you need to be in the top 4. Second in passing touchdowns, and it's not good enough for a dev up. Okay. I mean, throw my guy a bone maybe? No? Okay, whatever. Sure. Let him be star dev forever. Whatever. They do go edge rusher, finally, and then they also go safety, which I suppose they probably needed. Randolph, the DT. They actually look like they had a pretty good draft. The Seahawks have cooked. I mean, they have some really good players. Justin Ward, 5'9". They love their short safeties. And then Quan Norton, really good. I mean, very good. I think they need a right out, not a left out. I don't think it really matters. I mean, he'll fit in the spot they need him. Oh, wow. Okay, they got themselves an X Factor. Yeah, I mean, this Seahawks team is drafted really well. Still no playoffs, despite having an offense featuring this many talented goons. I don't know what to tell you. Defensively, I mean, the defense looks pretty good too. Linebacker definitely could use some work, but yeah, this is one of the better teams in the league at this point, at 90 overall. It's without a doubt, but once again, maybe it's that quarterback position. Oh my God, we've done it. We're in the playoffs. Because of how rare it's been, I'm going to have to show you guys that we didn't force any wins just to have a little bit of variety. It has actually happened. 0-28 against the Vikings. That is crazy. The Saints 9-42. But the Seahawks, and more importantly, Michael Penix Jr. is now playoff bound. They are now playoff bound. Let's take a look at the numbers. Michael Penix, not as good as last year, but still pretty good. Walker was great. JSN has been amazing, and the rest have been kind of lackluster, to be completely honest. And then sacks, a couple of guys in the 7 to 8 range, nothing crazy going on. Wow, that kicker sucks. What are they doing? Get someone new. Like, why? As far as stats and awards go, though, I imagine more of the same. No one winning MVP for us or anything close to that. Oh, JSN, Offensive Player of the Year. Obviously, Lamar Jackson, the MVP in general. Patrick Mahomes is a Cowboy. As if they needed any more help in Sim. Sweet, dude. Love that. That's awesome. Going against the Niners, let's see if this team can win a playoff game, division rivalry and all. And they will not. They lose by a lot, I guess. Since this is the first and potentially only playoff game, you might as well take a look at how it actually went. Statistically, Penix was not good at all. 61% completion percentage on 1 touchdown and 1 interception. Logan Plummer, they're like, hey, white running back, must be CMC again. Kenneth was pretty good. Penix had a couple of carries, but nothing crazy going on there. What about the defense? Sacks. Nick Bosa's still there. Fred Warner's still there. They got some defense still. But yeah, we just kind of sucked on offense, it seems, and defense didn't really help, but could be short fields, you know, quick drives, leaving the defense out there too long. And another new matchup, the Colts versus the Vikings in the Super Bowl. Can the Vikings get over the slump? They are 0-5 in the Super Bowl now. Never mind. Let's just move along. Looking at DevUp, still none for Penix. Not really surprised if he didn't get one the season before. He definitely wasn't going to get one there. I mean, the team looks good. It looks good still, even though Woolen has absolutely regressed. They made the playoffs, but we still have yet to see a playoff win now. Is Penix even the quarterback anymore? I don't know. We'll find out when we get to this draft. Pick 23, they go more trench work and a running back, Stanton. Dexter Stanton's got some speed. Back in the playoffs! Wow, the whole division besides the Niners. The Niners are 3-14. We'll take it. We're happy to be here. Of course, Michael Penix. The picks are down, but so are the touchdowns. Good rushing, but obviously it seems like Walker's slowing down a little bit. Receivers, I mean, even JSN kind of looks like he's slowing down a bit, but he has been unbelievable, especially those touchdowns. Just ridiculous. Blocking, really good, except for Charles Cross. Defensively, Garrison, 13.5 sacks, 8 for Murphy, 6.5 for Norton, 6.5 for Holiday. 2 interceptions. Yeah, I mean, you're not going to win any awards. Jaden Daniels just cleaning up MVP every year, and then obviously you have Micah Parsons killing it. Dallas Turner, still a Viking as well. But playoffs, can we see a playoff win? Could it be the year even? Maybe. Maybe not. That's what I meant to say. But let's take a look at the playoffs. Just not a single win. At least we went to back-to-back playoffs games. Oh, Penix is terrible. I would just replace him. 2 interceptions, 1 touchdown. I would just be done with him. I'm sorry, but I do not have the patience level. We'll see what this team does. Once again, I haven't, changed any contracts or anything like that. If anything, it's more fun to see, the players bounce around team to team. So, him sticking on the Seahawks for the majority of his career here, basically, is not really the most exciting thing, especially since he's not even doing anything with it. The Cardinals versus the Bills, I mean, like I said, these matchups have been very dynamic. They have been different than what we have seen. Some teams repeats, but also some teams not, as the Bills barely beat the Cardinals by 1. I would definitely take a Buffalo over a Cardinal in a fight. I choose the Bear. Defensively, this team is great, but Penix definitely regressing a little bit. 82 overall is not too bad, though, at like 31, 32 years old. But let's send him to the draft, see if this team is still this team for him. 32-year-old Penix is still the starter. He's medium accuracy and short accuracy is very good. Throw power is still there, but deep accuracy, not the best. But, obviously he's still a Seattle Seahawk. And we are going to be simulating the draft yet again, see what additions this team can make. I mean, this team has been one of the better teams for the majority of this thing. I'm surprised they even kept it together as much as they have, but sooner or later, all good things must come to an end. Is that the case now? Maybe not, as they're 90 overall, it seems. Right tackle, 75 overall. Normal dev, unfortunately. And then in the second round, I don't think they're going to get much better than that, as they get a 65 overall. That is what we like to call a bust of a draft. They did get 1 hidden development trade lineman. They really were like, we need offensive line stat. And that is exactly what they went for. Can't say it worked out, though. They did get 1 hidden, but for the most part, not the best results. Still no playoffs, and, not really still no playoffs, but a little bit of a break in between. Penix, 3,800 yards, 30 touchdowns, 12 interceptions. Walker, once again, the numbers are kind of dwindling. Same with, specifically same with Jackson Smith and Jigba, which shouldn't make any sense because his release isn't great, but he hasn't, regressed. I'm pretty sure those are, basically the ratings he had the whole time. Blocking wasn't even that bad. Sacks, at this point, a lot of the players we don't even know of. I'm surprised Byron Murphy's still going strong. While we're here, let's take a quick look at him. 30 years old, superstar. Great at block shedding, 93 overall. What kind of, sacks has he had this whole time? Tackles for a loss are pretty good. He's not bad. Definitely not bad, but yearly awards, do we really even need to look at him? JJ McCarthy kind of cooking. Was Lamar Jackson always a Jaguar? I'm already forgetting things. It's already happening. There's gonna be someone in the comment section saying, he was always a Raven. And they would be right, I suppose. I guess I can't really argue that. To the Super Bowl. And the Saints win the Super Bowl over the Patriots. Take a look at DevOps. I don't think Penix would have got one, but you never know. Sometimes it is just, not even sometimes, but it is just based on the other quarterbacks. So if he were to have just played well enough compared to them, he could still get a DevOp, even if the numbers are lower than we've seen, right? So, it is possible, but obviously not in this case. Metcalf obviously almost regressing to the point where he's unusable. Surprisingly still here, but, I can't even say unusable because he's 97 speed at 6'4". I thought he was 6'3". I guess they listen at 6'4" now. Unbelievable, right? Like, that is still really, really good. Like, that is insane. 97, like, are they not supposed to regress in speed when they get older? I don't even know what's going on there, but the team is still really good. The problem is, are they going to start Penix? Pryor, their other quarterback, same overall. They might not even have him. Maybe they're going to let Penix go right here, and Pryor's going to be the starter. And not only did they not keep Penix, they didn't even keep Pryor. Where the hell? What is going on? So we now find ourselves on the Chicago Bears, who end up with pick 1 and pick 8 quarterbacks from the 2024 NFL Draft. This is not a team that's looking very good at all. On offense, defensively a little bit better. Jalen Johnson is still here. He's an X factor. 34 years old, he should not be a starter. He should not be their number one cornerback with 86 speed. Scarborough, what's his age? Yeah, this team is really not good. This is probably not a destination that's going to result in a Super Bowl win for him, but this is his career. We're simming it out. The Bears go 9-8 no matter where Penix goes. Failures apparently follow. He was able to throw 2 passes all season and completed 0 of them. There's obviously no point in looking at the stats and awards and all that. We are going to sim, and I kind of have a feeling that, I'm not saying he's going to retire now, but he might not have another, real statistical season going forward. So we might as well take a look at what he's accomplished to this point, in case he does just out of the blue straight up retire. He's only an 80 overall, so it would make sense that soon is the time, right? So let's take a look at his career numbers, which aren't going to be super impressive, but they're going to be there, right? 29,000 yards, 242 touchdowns, 95 interceptions. Basically, he's one of those guys that, 5 years after, maybe not even 5, 3 or 4 years after he retires, people do a meme of do you remember Michael Penix Jr.? He wasn't the best, but he was kind of fun to watch, and then they show the stat line that's it's good, because that's good, but it's not elite. But ironically enough, he actually is very close to Caleb Williams in touchdowns, despite not playing as many snaps. It says games played are the same, but he definitely was a backup just this last season. But yeah, that's basically what I think of when I see those numbers, but not bad by any means. Obviously didn't win a Super Bowl or anything like that, but still could continue to be a backup. Maybe Jimmy Garoppolo the thing. We'll see. But let's see if he's even here the following season, because he might be gone. And I think he's still here. He's an 80 overall. He's 34. He's regressing, but he's once again still here. It really makes me think though, if he's 34 star and he never really got that high of an overall, will guys like McCarthy even ever retire in this sim universe? He's a 99 overall, 31 years old, and he's an X factor. But let's move on to the draft, move on to next season, because I imagine all the contracts he's going to be getting now are going to be 1 years. So unless they pay a backup, which I imagine won't cost that much, he'll probably end up being on a new team. Penix is now a Saint, but I got to tell you, if that isn't a porn name, I don't know what it is. Jack Irons. Maybe take away the S and put cock at the end or something. Rooster, obviously, is what I mean. The Saints are in the playoffs. Wait, they have the bye. I got so confused because 11-6 is not bye week worthy. But in the NFC, apparently it is. They would have maybe gotten the 4th seed in the AFC, but instead they got a bye week in the NFC. So maybe Penix will have himself a Super Bowl ring after all. Did he get any throws in here? Irons was amazing. Penix completed a pass, 8 yards in the last 2 seasons. He is absolutely on fire. You cannot stop him. You cannot stop him. No point in looking at the awards or anything like that, because obviously Penix isn't going to be involved. But this could happen. This could happen against the Falcons of all teams. Could you imagine? No, you can't. Oh, if the Falcons win a Super Bowl, obviously it's, it's many years since Penix has been gone, but still, it would be kind of relevant. It would be kind of relevant. As the Falcons are against the Patriots, can they get the revenge? Can they do it? That would be kind of harmful for Penix if they win, which they do not. Of course, nothing really changed for Penix, so don't really need to take a look at, if he had extra stats. He had 8 yards more on 4 attempts. It's not really much going on there. And I didn't really expect it to actually happen, but Michael Penix retires after 12 years. That's a hell of a career. I mean, we all want to clown it because, we're all sitting from our behind our screens, but being an NFL backup even, which he really wasn't here in this case, he was for a couple seasons, is an insane job. When people talk crap about a quarterback that couldn't hack into the NFL, it's just getting there is ridiculous. But to have a season, a career like Penix did, yeah, it'd be disappointing. Yeah, you could kind of call him a bust at pick 8 if that's how everything goes down. But he wasn't terrible. He could definitely be a lot worse. There's been way worse busts, if you will. But yeah, a lot of sitting because, you had to wait for Kirk Cousins. And then, after the Seahawks, he ended up sitting for a while. But ultimately, 30,000 yards, 250 touchdowns, under 100 picks. That's a pretty good career. That is a pretty good career. And if you guys want to see more career sims of maybe players that'll actually start the whole way through for the most part, let me know which team, once again, in the comment section below you'd like to see. Maybe leave a like. It would let me know, hey, you guys actually kind of like this. And maybe subscribe if you're new. If you're not new, I do appreciate your continued support on the channel, especially all the way into May. Midway through May. Where did the year go? Genuinely. Regardless, maybe follow me on Twitter, Jeromepkr, second channel, PK Plays for non-Madden content. And that's about it. Thanks for watching. I'll let you guys come back for next video. But until next video,